Today, I want to show you how you can set up full screen experiences for your WeWeb mobile application and also enable and work with safe area inside of that application using the Despia plugin. It's super simple. So let's take a look at the problem. Now, with Despia, we enable you to set up full screen mode inside of the editor. You can enable full screen mode. This will make your application use the full screen, the whole screen, and it will get rid of the top status bar that we add in there that's hard-coded and will cut off a little bit of your screen to make sure that you're not going behind the notch and content is being cut off. Now, if you want to manage that yourself, you can just enable the full screen mode setting. And then you can republish your application because that is a native change because that happens in the Despia editor. Now, with that being on, we can clearly see the problem. As you can see my WeWeb project, I have a button up here, and that button should not be behind the notch because you see it would be behind the notch on my device right here. It should be adjusted based on the safe area when I'm in full screen mode because I got rid of the status bar. So there's actually a cool way how we can set this up natively to adjust and dynamically calculate the safe area using the Despia plugin for WeWeb. So first of all, we need to make sure that we have the Despia plugin installed in our project. So we can go to Assets, we can go to Library, and we can go to this book symbol. And we'll see that there is the Despia package installed. If you haven't installed it already, just go to the marketplace and look for Despia. You can get it from there. Perfect. So now that we have it installed, we need to add this on the top of the page. So let's click on Add. Let's go to Assets, and you will see this Despia native component here that we can add on top of your page, can be your existing page. Now here's the cool thing. Now that we have it on the page, we have variables accessible to us that will give us the appropriate safe area. Let's take a look at that. Now what I can do is I can add a div block to this page here. So let's add a div block, and that will be the top element of the page. And I'm actually going to call this div block safe area top, just like this. And now inside of this div block, I can just go in here and set the height. So we see we have the height. I'm going to make the height fixed, and the height is going to be dynamic. So I'm just going to bind it to a value. And now here's the thing. If we go to the variables, we see this Despia component here is actually giving us some variables that are coming from the native environment. And this will also give us a native safe area. So I can just add the native safe area top, and I can just kind of like make a little function here. So to make it simpler for myself, I'm just going to do native safe area top. Can we do or? Yeah, we can do or 0. Okay, and then we're going to do plus, and we're going to do pixels. So it sets that, but I think it's a little bit different than Java in a WeWeb formula than JavaScript. So I'm going to do JavaScript because that's what I'm most familiar with. But the whole idea is you're going to do where you're going to take the native safe area top, and actually we don't need to make a formula because the component has a fallback. So I apologize for that confusion. We can just actually go into the formula and take the native safe area top here and just add pixels after it. That'll do it, because as you can see, even in the web version, I have 0 pixels because the component actually gives you a default if there is none. So that actually takes care of it. So now, as you can see, we have this component here that has the height dynamically set from the Despia plugin native safe area top. And we're just going to put pixels in there, right? Because we're setting that in pixels. And that should do the whole thing. Now, if I'm going to deploy the application and I'm going to publish this, now the nice thing also about Despia is you got the updates over the air. So when you publish an update like this, fixing some layout issues, you not have to wait for Apple or Google to approve it within 10 days. You can push that update out right now, and all of your users and yourself will be able to have that app immediately updated because you have updates over the air, fully compliant with the store's regulations. So you don't have to worry about having something broken and not being able to fix it immediately. So let's open the application again. Let's close it and let's open it. And now we should see that there's the safe area on the top defined. So as you can see now, this click button is actually below the notch because Despia dynamically calculates the safe area for the device. It dynamically gets the notch information from the device where the notch is, and it will then automatically define this variable to give you the value to adjust the layout so you can build full screen experiences like TikTok, right? Where the video goes from really top to bottom, but you still have the ability to align it nicely so no content is behind the notch that is important, right? So you can use this to set up nice experiences. Now we actually do have the same thing for the bottom bar, right? Because you have the swipe up and that has some area attached to it. So if we want to set up a safe area on the bottom, I can just add a div block here into the project as well. And, you know, I could go inside of here and that div block here would just be fixed height. And I'm going to go inside of here and I'm taking safe area bottom and I'm going to do pixels, right? Okay, now I'm getting the safe area for the bottom. I'm just going to make width 100% and I'm just going to give it the background color of, I don't need to make that dynamic actually. Let's unbind that. Let's just make the background color red, like, or let's do it white. Okay, background white. Okay, so we have this div. It should be background white. I think we need to put some text inside of here. Let's see, let's put some text in here. Okay, I don't see it being white, but it's also because it's 1 pixel actually. So we're good on that. This looks fine. So if I'm now going to deploy it and I'm going to say new, right? And I'm deploying the version, you will see that now this will give us the safe area for the bottom, right? So we'll calculate in the extra space that you need to make it work with the bottom because some devices, you know, you need to calculate the bottom as well. So it gives you access to those native device environment variables that you can directly set inside of WeWeb, and you don't even need JavaScript for that. You can just do a WeWeb formula. So if I'm now going to open the application again, we don't have to go through rebuilding it. It's all updates over the air. Just push it through WeWeb. You will see that we're now actually calculating here and setting the width in this element for the bottom bar. Obviously, this element would be on the bottom. Otherwise, it wouldn't make sense. But you get the whole idea. We can take those variables and we can set the padding, we can set the margin of certain elements to really fit the interface into this full screen interface without having to go over something and get stuff cut off. So you can really, really make some nice stuff with this and you know, really make sure that you use the whole screen and you can build great full screen experiences and go really crazy when it comes to designing. And this is how you use native safe area inside of your WeWeb mobile application using the Despia plugin. It's super simple. See you in the next video. Take care.